Hey guys, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we are starting week 4. So this group, I don't know if you guys noticed, it's actually 5 weeks long because I always start a group on the second Monday of the month. And in August, if I would have just done the 4 weeks, then we would have had a week gap. And I don't believe in that. I believe that you always need support, you always need motivation, you always need encouragement. I'm not going to just leave you hanging for an entire week. So today starts week 4. We will have a week 5. All of you who are doing the workout challenge, I completely forgot about this detail when I said it. So you have 3 weeks to complete your workout challenge. And then at the end of this group, I will select who has the most workouts from last week, from this coming week, and from next week. And you will get a prize sent to you, personally selected from me. So keep that in mind. And all of you who are committing to Morning Meltdown, we begin tomorrow on our 100 workout journey. So all of you who are not doing it, keep plugging away, keep killing it in what you are doing. We are going to be posting in both our Morning Meltdown group and this group, so you are still going to get motivation from us, you're still going to get encouragement from us, and you're still going to get accountability from us. So don't worry, just because we're doing this, we are not checking out. We are still very much involved with you. So I have had a couple people, actually numerous people, say that their biggest struggle is still nutrition. Their biggest struggle is prepping. Their biggest struggle is making time to prep. Their biggest struggle is figuring out how the heck to prep, all of this. So I wanted to do another nutrition video because nutrition is where it is at, guys. 80% of your results is nutrition. If you are not dialing in it in the kitchen, you are not going to get results. You cannot outwork a bad diet. And I am full proof of this. I did this over and over and over and over. And then my workouts became like a punishment. Like, oh, I ate nachos last night, so I have to do this super hard workout. Now I take care of myself. My workout is because I want to. My workout is because I know that it helps my mental game. My workout is not a punishment anymore. It's a celebration of what my body can do. So with that being said, guys, let's go into prepping. So the first question I'm going to go over is, how do you make time to prep? I get this. It's so hard. Life is crazy. Life is busy. Life is go, go, go. We just traveled this weekend and have been, honestly, guys, all of July, I have been home one weekend. One weekend. So it is 100% possible. There has been some weeks where I prepped on Monday instead of Sunday because I didn't get to the grocery store, and that's going to be tomorrow. I did not make it to the grocery store when we got home. We literally ate dinner, put the boys to bed, and here I am trying to catch up on work since I played this weekend. So you have to make a commitment. You have to tell yourself, okay, I will have 2 hours on Sunday to prep. So I am going to prep absolutely everything that I can. Or if you're somebody who doesn't like to do that, make sure that you set aside 30 minutes each night to prep what you are going to eat the next day. Maybe it's cutting up vegetables for dinner, so when you get off work, it's not as crazy. Everything is cut up. You just put it all in the pan and you're ready to go. Maybe it's prepping your breakfast. If you're drinking your Shakeology in the morning, then maybe you make a little baggie of what you put in your Shakeology. Maybe it's the cup of fruit. Maybe it's peanut butter. Whatever it is, just make sure that it is already there. So all you have to do is throw it in the blender. Maybe you're pre-making your lunch. I know that when I worked, I pre-made every night before. I pre-made my lunch, I pre-made my snacks, and I pre-prepped my Shakeology. I did not blend it together yet. I didn't put the powder in yet. I did all of that the next morning. But everything was ready to go. And then dinner, we would either have it planned where my husband would get started with something or I would prep something. It's not just a single person, guys. If your husband helps you cook, he can help you prep too. So that's a commitment. You need to figure out what is going to work best for you. Is it going to work better that once a week you sit down and you prep absolutely everything that you possibly can? Or are you going to be that person that every single night for roughly 30 minutes, you get everything ready for the next day? Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, this helps so much because I can tell you from my experience, there's been a couple of times where I'm like, it's 2 p.m. and I haven't eaten because I was more worried about Logan getting nursed and Blake getting fed and all of this. And I know that there are moms in here that have more than 2 kids, and you're freaking amazing. That's all I have to say. You guys are amazing. But that is how I do it. So map out everything you can prep. Maybe you make a recipe, like I love the chicken and sweet potato wrap recipe in Fix8. It makes 4 lunches. So I would make that on Sunday, and I would have 4 lunches ready to go for the entire week. And then that 5th lunch, I would do leftovers from dinner or something, to where lunches were done, they were set, they were ready to go, and I did not have to think about them. I could just pick them up and go to work. So that's the time commitment. You have to decide what is going to work best for you, what is going to work best for your family. The next thing is, how the hell do I prep? I get this question, oh my gosh, so often. So I'm going to explain how I do it and how I have been doing it. And then you can decide from there whether it's going to work for you. So I sit down, usually Sundays, it did not happen today, but usually Sundays, I sit down with my husband and we figure out dinners that we are going to eat. I live with a super picky husband, so I have to make sure that the dinners I have planned, he's going to eat. There are also evening stuffs that it makes it crazy. He is not in town Wednesday nights, and he is at training Thursday nights. And then my son has swimming Tuesday and Thursday nights. So we have to plan food accordingly. We have to make sure that we will still get food ready instead of going out to eat, which costs money and is not near as healthy. So dinners are the first thing that I figure out. And then I figure out lunches based on those dinners. Sometimes I have leftovers for lunch. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have a salad. Sometimes I do a tuna salad. Sometimes I do those chicken and potato, sweet potato wraps. I'm going through like all my past history, because right now my lunch is the quinoa bowl. I'm freaking addicted. It is in Fix8 cooking show. It is also in the Fix8 volume 2 cookbook if you have it. I can't remember. It's in the breakfast section. Breakfast quinoa bowl, maybe? I don't know. So I eat that at lunch almost every single day. I am so addicted. So for that, I'm going to give you a full-out example. For that, I prep my quinoa 1 day a week. So it didn't happen today. So tomorrow I will probably make a big batch of quinoa. I will keep it in the fridge. So then all I have to do is measure it out, put it in the bowl, and that part of my lunch is ready. The rest of it, I could totally prep. I could completely make 5 of those meals and just stack them into my kitchen or my refrigerator. I don't, because I'm at home, but I can tell you that if I was at work still, that is exactly what I would be doing. I would sort out the quinoa. I would sort out the spinach. I would sort out the cherry tomatoes. I would sort out the eggs. I would put them all in a container, and I would stack them up in the refrigerator, so all I had to do was grab. Snacks, a lot of times I do hard-boiled eggs, and so I would hard-boil eggs. Sometimes I do fruit, so if you're doing the Portion Fix container system, I would portion those out, and I would put them in bags. Sometimes I do vegetables, so I would pre-cut, like the red bell peppers or whatever kind of vegetable you like if they need cut. Then you make sure that you have those baggies that are right there in the refrigerator. It's super easy for you to pick up instead of that Oreo cookie or instead of those chips. Whatever it is, they're there. They're ready to pick up. And like I said, if you are doing the container system, then that makes it even easier. Sorry. Super distracted. Even easier because you just measure vegetables out. You just measure your fruit out. Everything is ready. So there's an example of how I would prep my lunches, and there's an example of how I would prep my snacks. Now, breakfast, pre-Logan, I did Shakeology every single morning. And even pregnant with Logan, I did Shakeology every single morning. I would put fruit in it. I would put a teaspoon of peanut butter in it, and I would do my Shakeology and water. I didn't really put milk in it. I have struggled with dairy for about a year now, and now I'm 100% dairy free because of Logan. So I usually just did water. So so my breakfasts were super simple. My lunch was already prepped. My snacks were already prepped. My day was ready to go. All I had to do was dinner. And sometimes I would pre-cook meat. Sometimes I wouldn't. Honestly, a lot of the times dinner, guys, is not pre-prepped for me. We just used to get home from work and do it. So now, post Logan being at home, I sadly cannot drink Shakeology. That is why I don't log it. Logan reacted. It is 100% safe breastfeeding, but for some reason, my son, even the vegan formula, it just does not settle, and it is so not worth having a screaming baby. So for me, breakfasts are oatmeal and eggs every single day. So what I usually do is the last couple of weeks have been totally slacking, but what I would usually do is make a huge batch of oatmeal, and I would portion it out by the serving size, because I'm doing 2B mindset, so I don't usually use the containers right now, but I would portion them out into 5 containers. My oatmeal was done. I would put a teaspoon of peanut butter on it. All I would have to do is put it in a bowl and heat it up. The eggs, I like fresh, so I cook them every morning, make them fresh. Now, for lunches, like I said, I pre-prep that quinoa, and I try to pre-prep everything else that goes on the quinoa bowls. And then snacks are kind of hit and miss. Sometimes I pre-cut things, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do them when Logan is sleeping, whatever. So you get the gist of how it has changed. With work, I had to be on my prepping game. Absolutely had to be. When I'm at home, I should be more on my prepping game because life is busy. But I will be fully honest, prepping is hard for me too, guys. This is a learning curve. You have to figure out what works for you. When I did last year, I did a cleanse, and then I went straight into an 80-day program, and I had meal prepping to a T. I would have my entire weeks set up and set out. It would literally take me 2 hours on a Sunday. It took practice, guys. It did not happen like that the first couple weeks. So if you are getting frustrated and you're like, this has taken me 4 hours, I don't understand why, give it time. Sadly, I hate saying that, but give it time. It will happen. You will be able to wake up on Sunday, you will go grocery shopping, and you will come home and you're like, okay, this is what I have to do. This is the order I'm going to do it. These are the containers I have. This will go in the refrigerator. This will not. And you'll be set. But it does take practice. So let's see. Let me make sure I made some notes. Cut up. So meat. Sometimes I would pack salads to work, and I didn't want eggs sometimes. So I would pre-cook some chicken breasts, and then I just cut it up, and I would be able to throw it on my salad in the morning. It's already cold in the refrigerator. Voila, everything is going. I make my own salad dressing, so if I'm low on that, I prep that on Sundays. So anything that you can do kind of in bulk, do. Whether it's Sunday, whether it's Saturday, whether it's Monday, whether it's your random day off of the week on Thursdays, whatever works for you guys, you have to figure out what works for you. But I hope those tips help, because planning and prepping and making time for this is vital for your success, guys. And I'm starting the 100-day workouts tomorrow, and I'm committing to not way better, I'm not doing horrible, committing to better nutrition. And so I will get back more on the prepping game, and Sundays I will take my time and I will get prepped. So I hope that helps. Please comment below if you have any other questions that I did not cover, because I want this to be helpful for you guys. I want you to come away from these videos and say, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. I understand it now, all of that. So please let me know if you have any other questions. If not, kill this week. Continue to focus on that workout challenge, and I will see you guys later.